Hey there, guys. Alright, today we are back with some more overly sarcastic productions, and this time it's a miscellaneous myths, a Greek one, Cadmus. I don't know anything about this myth before we dive into the video. At least I don't think so, at least off the top of my head. I don't remember anything about this myth, but I've probably heard of it before at some point in time. It has been several months since our last miscellaneous myths, back in, I think it was a Loki one was the last one, many months ago. 4 or 5 months or something like that. But yeah, before we dive into this myth, make sure you go and check out the links in the description box below. I would love to join Discord. Follow me over at Twitch, and please do go check out the gaming channels here on YouTube. One is for edited content, dumb stuff, and the other is the stream VODs, which is the pre-edited content. The 3 hour long. It's a lot of content. If you want lots of content, Stream VOD's channel got that. Got a lot. Alright, with all that said, let's go ahead and dive into Cadmus.
I wonder when the happy ending was invented. The fairy tale trope, you weirdos. It has this appealing vagueness to it that lets us just believe our heroes ride off into the sunset and experience some sort of idyllic just reward for all their troubles, nice and off screen, so we can't see any details that might spoil the illusion. It just feels like every time I unpack an ancient myth, we get a good hard look at the protagonist's entire life, from their storybook acts of great heroism down to their inevitable horrifying tragic end, frequently due to their own shitty behavior
Yeah.
during those aforementioned acts of heroism. Sure, some of them get deified in the process, but that's kinda cold comfort. Then again, I guess it's more realistic than nebulous retirement ever after. Greek heroes live interesting lives, and that, quite frankly, never ends well. One of the greats that I've managed to overlook so far is Cadmus, founder hero of Thebes and frequent co-star in the family trees of a truly impressive number of characters we've talked about before. This version of his story comes to us in Ovid's Metamorphoses, and I cannot wait to hear about how his life goes horribly wrong thanks to the unjust capriciousness of the gods. Ovid
Oh, my favorite.
doesn't have a brand. What are you talking about? Our story begins at the end of another one. As we briefly touched on in the Zodiac video,
That was a long time ago, Red. That was a long time ago.
Phoenician princess Europa has had the unfortunate but tragically common experience of being abducted by Zeus,
God damn it, Zeus.
cunningly disguised as a bull, who carries her across the ocean to
Plus, they're gonna name 20% of a continent after you. Why are you crying?
the shores of Crete and emplaces her as its first queen. But in a shocking exploration
This is an outrage. How do you lose a princess? Well, sir, it's a surprisingly hazardous career path.
of the canonically acknowledged shittiness of Zeus's actions, she leaves behind a confused and grieving family, notably a father who demands that she must be found. He sends Europa's brother
Cadmus, my beloved son, you must find your lost sister. I will not rest until Europa is home.
Cadmus in search of her and raises the stakes by demanding that Cadmus return with his sister or not at all. Unfortunately, due to the aforementioned
Fear not, sister. No power on earth can keep us apart.
godly abduction, not at all is going to be his only option.
Yeah.
Cadmus seeks out the oracle
Wow, Zeus, how original. So a cow will take you to your new kingdom, never to return home again? I don't get it. I know.
at Delphi and asks for her help, and she tells him that his main quest line is softlock, but what he's gonna do instead is he's gonna find this magic cow, right, and follow it across the land until it decides to lie down, and there he's gonna establish a great kingdom and name it Boeotia. Cadmus heads out and immediately finds a beautiful and
Well, that could be anyone's magical destiny.
clearly magical cow and does as the oracle commands, following it on a very long journey until it settles down for a rest in a lush, empty stretch of land ripe for the colonizing. Cadmus sends his followers out
Right, for the colonizing. Alright, boys, let's show the gods our gratitude. Yeah, we love you, boss. Real destiny was the friendships we forged.
to find a source of fresh water so he can make some sacrifices to the gods. Followers who have of course been here the whole time because of how profoundly important they are to the story, with long and successful careers ahead of them just down this river and inside this spooky cave. When the sun starts setting and Cadmus's guys aren't back yet, he goes to investigate and finds that, horror of horrors, those followers of his have been slaughtered to a man, and they were so important. The cause of their death quickly becomes clear, as emerging from the spooky cave is a giant venomous dragon ready to fight. What follows is a battle of epic proportions where Cadmus uses such cunning strategies as throwing a rock at it and stabbing
King shit.
it real good. After a cataclysmic duel, Cadmus successfully slays the dragon and takes a moment to bask in his victory, which is when a spooky voice rings out and tells him if he thinks slaying dragons is funny, his future is about to be hilarious. Before he really has time to mull that one over,
This could be anyone's ominous premonition. Your optimism is adorable. Admirable, or that. Focus up and comment. I am fucking up simple words. Focus up and compartmentalize.
Athena pops into the story and tells him he needs manpower thanks to the aforementioned tragic and horrible death of all his followers, so he'd better get busy taking that dragon's teeth and sowing them like seeds. Cadmus obeys because when Athena tells you to do a thing, you do it,
Yep.
and the dragon's teeth sprout into a veritable army of warriors, fully decked out and ready to fight. And
Nice.
fight they do, immediately. Each other. The
Oh.
army of draconic warriors just straight up start throwing hands, setting some sort of speedrun record for fastest time between birth and first murder that has been matched except by certain species of parasitic wasp. But as quickly as the battle has begun,
Wait, brothers, let us lay down our arms. That one's my favorite.
it's over, with 5 warriors remaining with the wherewithal to notice that, hey, wait a second, this entire fight is pointless. So they stop, pledge allegiance to a probably mildly
We are at your command, my lord. Awesome. Let's start with, please never do that again.
scarred Cadmus and set about building that great city of his. And then we skip forward in time through Cadmus's marriage to Harmonia, the daughter of Aphrodite and Ares, and they start a family together, which handily segues into a quick montage of all of Cadmus's descendants who died horrible, painful deaths because Hera is still mad about the Europa thing. Big names like his grandson Actaeon and his daughter Semele, with a
That was, hey.
special detour into a fun new story where Cadmus's daughter Ino and her husband Athamas are attacked by the Fury Tisiphone and driven mad by magical venomous snakes,
Does anyone get a break in Greek mythology? I don't think so.
causing Athamas to kill one of their infant sons and drive Ino and their surviving child to leap into the sea to escape him. But thanks to a special
You poor darling. And it wasn't even a proper crime of passion.
act of divine nepotism courtesy of Aphrodite, Poseidon transforms Ino and her son into ocean gods with fun new names and everything. No harm done, all's well that ends well, good thing they had that spare kid lying around. But of course, Cadmus has no way of knowing about that last part, so from his perspective, his children and grandchildren have just been suffering horrible fates non-stop with no reprieve. He wonders if it might be because that dragon he killed was more than just a monster. What if it was sacred to the gods, and by killing it, he angered them somehow? He says, hypothetically,
Stop passive-aggressively killing my family and just punish me already. Darling?
if that were the case, it would be better if the gods just bit the bullet and turned him into a dragon. And somebody's clearly listening
God damn it, Zeus.
because they oblige. Cadmus begins transforming
Dear, don't take this the wrong way, but your family's communication skills are pretty terrible. Yeah, they are. Is Greek mythology where we get the miscommunication trope? Because I'm sensing a pattern here.
into a big old monster snake feet first and slow enough that he knows exactly what's going on and that he can't stop it. Which is, yeah, horrifying. But
Yeah.
in fairness, what are the gods gonna do? Smite me? Is probably the most blatant tempting of fate I've ever seen from a Greek hero since Jason's pro strat of what's my turbo powerful sorceress X gonna do? Murder my new wife? But as Cadmus becomes all
Hey, Mom, you know what would be really romantic?
snake all the time, his wife Harmonia grabs hold of him and double dares the gods that she bets they can't do it twice. So she also turns into a big
Oh, wait, is this gonna have a somewhat happy ending, kinda? Like, ignoring the fact that their whole family, all their children and, like, grandchildren and stuff fucking died? I mean, for Greek mythology, this ain't too bad.
snake, panicking all of their royal attendants, but these two dragons are very different from the one Cadmus slew back in the day because they still remember who they are and leave the palace with all the grace of royalty to spend the rest of their days in the wilderness together, which, frankly, is probably the closest thing to happily ever after a Greek hero can get.
Yeah.
And I don't want the
He who fights with dragons might take care lest he thereby get turned into a dragon, because the gods can't just put up a sign that says, important sacred creature, do not murder.
world to see.
All these sacred snakes really feel like the outdoor cats of Mount Olympus. Yeah, but here's the thing. If you put up a sign that says, important sacred creature, do not murder, you know there's going to be stupid-ass humans, and a lot of them, that are just going to come up and try and murder it because of that sign existing. So maybe it is for the best that there was not a sign. But of course, maybe someone, because Cadmus kept getting taught, like, the gods kept, like, intervening in his life, right? Athena showed up. Maybe one of them should have just said something when they saw him walking towards the fucking cave and gone, hey, homie, don't kill this thing, all right? Your people fucked up. We're sorry your friends are dead now, but if you killed Snake here, we're gonna fuck up your family for the rest of time. So, your choice, peace, and then dip out like a god, you know? They could have done that, but no. They chose to just, like, see what would happen and then fuck up his life. Python is a smart noodle and knows not to play in the road. That's cool, but Python's greatest predatory threat is hotshot heroes with pointy things, so maybe just keep Python inside. And that was Miscellaneous Myth, Cadmus. Miscellaneous Myths, Cadmus. This was a good episode. Again, I'm waiting for another juicy, meaty, thick boy of a Miscellaneous Myth episode, because we have not gotten one in quite some time. I'm waiting. I feel like Red's gotta be cooking something really good, because she's kind of been making like so much short when she does do these these more like artistic videos, the ones that she does more drawings for, because she obviously doesn't do much drawing for the trope talks, at least not like, obviously not in the style that we see here, right? She doesn't do this for like the trope talks and stuff. I feel like she's got to be cooking something. She's got to be cooking something long, something good, something thick. Because right, the last few like of these types of videos have been fairly short. Or at least maybe I'm delusional and I'm hoping something thick is getting cooked. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I certainly did. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.